What if the biggest threat to your life right now isn't something you can feel, but something growing silently inside your body? No pain, no warning, no obvious symptoms. And the only way to catch it early is through a simple health checkup most people keep postponing. We often think of doctors as people we visit when something goes wrong: fever, pain, weakness, or an emergency. But health doesn't suddenly collapse overnight. Most serious diseases build slowly, quietly, sometimes for years before they show clear signs. And by the time symptoms appear, the damage may already be advanced. Regular health checkups are not about treating illness. They are about preventing it. They are about catching small problems before they become big ones. Take high blood pressure as an example. It's often called the silent killer because most people with high blood pressure feel completely normal. You could be working, laughing, sleeping fine, while inside your blood vessels are under constant stress. Over time, that pressure damages arteries and increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney failure. Without a simple blood pressure reading, you might never know. Now think about diabetes. In its early stages, type 2 diabetes may cause very mild symptoms, maybe a little extra thirst or tiredness, easy to ignore. But high blood sugar slowly damages nerves, eyes, kidneys, and the heart. A routine fasting blood sugar test during a checkup can detect prediabetes, a warning stage where lifestyle changes can actually reverse the condition. That's the power of early detection. Cholesterol works the same way. You cannot feel high cholesterol. There's no pain. But over time, it forms plaques inside your arteries. One day, without warning, a clot can form and block blood flow to the heart. Many people who experience heart attacks say they felt fine just days before. A simple lipid profile test could have identified the risk years earlier. And it's not just about heart disease. Regular health checkups can detect thyroid problems, anemia, vitamin deficiencies, liver and kidney issues, and even certain cancers at early stages. The earlier a disease is found, the easier and more successful the treatment usually is. Survival rates for many cancers are dramatically higher when detected early through screening tests. For women, routine exams may include breast checks and cervical screening. For men, prostate evaluations become important with age. Colon cancer screening is recommended after a certain age for both men and women. These tests might sound uncomfortable or unnecessary when you feel healthy, but they have one purpose: to save lives before symptoms begin. Now, let's talk about something people don't always connect to checkups: mental health. Regular visits create space to discuss stress, sleep problems, anxiety, or mood changes. Chronic stress affects blood pressure, digestion, immunity, and heart health. Early support can prevent burnout, depression, and long-term health complications. Health is not just physical, it's emotional and mental too. Another important reason for regular checkups is understanding your personal baseline. Everyone's body is different. When you do annual tests, you create a record of your normal values. If something changes later, even slightly, it can be detected early. Without that history, small warning signs may go unnoticed. There's also a strong financial argument for prevention. Treating advanced disease is expensive. Hospital stays, surgeries, long-term medications, preventive care and early management are almost always more affordable than emergency treatment. A short appointment today can prevent a major hospital bill tomorrow. Many people avoid checkups because they're afraid of discovering bad news. But ignoring a potential problem doesn't make it disappear. In fact, it gives it more time to grow. Knowledge may feel scary at first, but it gives you control. And control leads to action. Others say, I feel fine, so I must be healthy. But the human body is incredibly adaptable. It can compensate for imbalances for years before showing symptoms. Kidney disease, for example, may not cause noticeable signs until serious damage has already occurred. Liver issues can progress silently. Even bone density loss happens without pain until a fracture occurs. Regular health checkups shift your mindset from reaction to prevention. Instead of waiting for pain to guide you, you use information, you use data, you use science. As we age, checkups become even more important. After 30, lifestyle-related risks slowly increase. After 40, heart disease and metabolic conditions become more common. After 50, cancer screening becomes critical. But even young adults benefit from routine monitoring. Early adulthood is the best time to build preventive habits. And here's something powerful. Regular checkups often motivate healthier behavior. When you see your blood pressure slightly high, you're more likely to reduce salt. When cholesterol rises, you may finally commit to daily walking. Seeing numbers makes health real. It turns abstract advice into personal responsibility. Think of it like servicing your car. You don't wait for the engine to fail before checking the oil. You maintain it regularly so it lasts longer and performs better. Your body is far more valuable than any machine. It deserves regular attention. Prevention doesn't make dramatic headlines. It's quiet, it's simple, but it works. Countries that focus on preventive health care have lower rates of advanced disease and longer life expectancy. Science consistently shows that early detection reduces complications and improves survival rates. The truth is simple. Small corrections today prevent major crises tomorrow. A 20-minute appointment once a year could add years to your life and life to your years. There's something else most people don't realize about regular health checkups. They don't just detect disease, they create awareness. And awareness changes behavior. When you sit down with a healthcare professional and review your numbers, your blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, weight, body mass index, something shifts mentally. Health stops being a vague idea and becomes measurable. You're no longer guessing whether you're okay, and knowing creates accountability. For example, imagine someone discovers during a routine checkup that their blood pressure is slightly elevated. Not dangerously high, just borderline. That's a powerful moment, because at that stage, small lifestyle changes, like walking 30 minutes a day, reducing processed foods, improving sleep, can bring it back to normal without heavy medication. But if ignored for years, that same borderline number can quietly turn into chronic hypertension. The same goes for blood sugar. Prediabetes is a warning sign, not a life sentence. Studies show that people who make moderate lifestyle changes at the prediabetes stage can reduce their risk of developing type 2 diabetes by more than 50%. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing. Regular checkups also help identify risk factors you might not even think about. For example, many people have vitamin D deficiency without knowing it. Others have mild anemia causing fatigue they blame on stress. Thyroid imbalance can cause weight changes, mood swings, and low energy, symptoms people often ignore or misunderstand. A simple blood test can reveal the root cause. Family history is another reason why checkups matter. If heart disease, diabetes, or cancer runs in your family, your risk may be higher than average. That doesn't mean you're destined to develop those conditions, but it does mean early and consistent monitoring becomes more important. Screening recommendations can be adjusted based on personal risk. And let's talk about age. In your 20s and 30s, you might feel invincible. Energy is high. Recovery is fast. But this is actually the best time to establish a baseline. When you check your health while you're young and healthy, you create a reference point for the future. Later in life, doctors can compare changes against that baseline. In your 40s and 50s, screening becomes more specific. Cholesterol monitoring becomes more critical. Colon cancer screening may be recommended. For women, mammograms are important at certain ages. For men, prostate evaluation may become relevant. These aren't random tests. They are based on decades of medical research showing when risks tend to increase. Another overlooked benefit of regular checkups is building a long-term relationship with your healthcare provider. When a doctor knows your history over time, they can detect subtle changes more accurately. Medicine becomes personalized instead of reactive. It's easier to spot patterns, rising trends in blood pressure, gradual weight gain, changes in lab values. Mental health also becomes easier to address in a regular care setting. Many people live with chronic stress without realizing how much it affects their physical health. Stress hormones like cortisol can influence blood pressure, blood sugar, and immune function. During routine visits, conversations about sleep quality, work stress, or emotional challenges can lead to early support. That support can prevent long-term complications. There's also the issue of vaccinations and preventive measures. Adults often forget that immunity can fade over time. Flu vaccines, tetanus boosters, hepatitis vaccines. These are simple steps that prevent serious infections. Regular checkups ensure you stay updated. Now, let's address one of the biggest excuses. I don't have time. It's understandable. Work schedules are busy. Family responsibilities are demanding. But here's the reality. If you don't schedule time for prevention, illness will eventually schedule it for you. And when illness schedules it, it's rarely convenient. Emergency room visits, hospital stays, surgeries, these consume far more time and energy than a yearly appointment ever would. Another common concern is cost. But preventive visits are often far less expensive than treating advanced disease. Managing high blood pressure early with simple medication and lifestyle changes is far cheaper than paying for stroke rehabilitation. Detecting cancer in stage 1 is far less costly, financially and emotionally, than treating it in stage 4. And perhaps most importantly, regular health checkups provide peace of mind. When your results are normal, you feel reassured. That reassurance reduces anxiety. Lower anxiety improves sleep. Better sleep improves immunity and heart health. It's all connected. Health is not just about living longer. It's about living better. It's about having energy to work, to enjoy family, to pursue goals, to feel strong and capable. Prevention protects that quality of life. The body is incredibly resilient, but it is not indestructible. It gives signals, but sometimes those signals are silent. Checkups act as a translator. They reveal what the body cannot say out loud. Small actions done consistently over years create massive results. A yearly blood test, a blood pressure check, a conversation about lifestyle. These may seem minor in the moment, but over decades, they can add healthy years to your life. Now imagine your life 10 or 20 years from today. Imagine waking up with energy, walking without pain, thinking clearly, playing with your children or grandchildren, traveling, working, living fully. That future version of you is being shaped by the decisions you make today, and regular health checkups are one of the simplest but most powerful decisions you can make. Because here's the truth, most chronic diseases don't happen suddenly. They develop through small, invisible changes that build up over time. A little extra sugar in the blood, a slight increase in pressure inside the arteries, a gradual build-up of plaque. These changes are quiet, they don't demand attention, but year after year, they add up. Regular health checkups interrupt that process. They shine a light on what's happening beneath the surface. They give you numbers, trends, and early warnings. And early warnings give you options to change your diet, to increase physical activity, to improve sleep, to manage stress, to start treatment early if needed. Think about how powerful that is. When disease is caught early, treatment is usually simpler, less aggressive, and more successful. Early stage conditions often require lifestyle adjustments or mild medication. Late stage diseases often require hospitalization, complex procedures, or lifelong management. The difference between early and late can be the difference between control and crisis. There's also something deeply empowering about knowing your health status. It removes uncertainty. It replaces fear of the unknown with clarity. Even if a problem is found, you now have a plan, and having a plan reduces anxiety. Many people delay checkups because they don't want to jinx. They think, if I don't look for problems, maybe there aren't any. But medicine doesn't work that way. The body follows biology, not superstition. Ignoring a risk doesn't erase it. Facing it early gives you the advantage. Regular checkups also reinforce long-term discipline. When you know you'll be reviewing your numbers each year, you're more likely to stay consistent with healthy habits. It creates a cycle of responsibility. You monitor, you adjust, you improve, then you monitor again. And remember, prevention is not about perfection. You don't have to eat perfectly or exercise like an athlete. Health checkups are not exams you pass or fail. They are conversations, they are checkpoints, they are opportunities to improve step by step. Even If everything comes back normal, that result matters. It confirms that your current lifestyle is working. It gives you confidence. It motivates you to continue taking care of yourself. Your heart beats every second without asking for praise. Your lungs breathe automatically. Your kidneys filter waste quietly. Your liver detoxifies your blood without complaint. These organs work non-stop for decades. A short appointment once a year is a small way of respecting that effort. When you zoom out and look at life as a whole, health is the foundation of everything else. Career, family, goals, dreams, they all depend on physical and mental well-being. Without health, everything becomes harder. Regular health checkups are not dramatic. They don't feel urgent. They don't create excitement, but they are one of the most responsible acts of self-care you can practice. They shift your approach from reacting to emergencies to preventing them. They turn health from guesswork into knowledge. They transform fear into control. And over time, they quietly add not just years to your life, but life to your years. In the end, regular health checkups are not about expecting something to be wrong. They are about respecting the fact that your body is constantly changing. They are about choosing awareness over assumption, prevention over panic, and action over regret. The most dangerous health problems are often the quiet ones. High blood pressure doesn't knock before entering. Diabetes doesn't always shout in the beginning. Cholesterol doesn't cause pain while it builds up. But a simple test can reveal what your body cannot feel. Think of a health checkup as a yearly reset button. A moment to pause, review, adjust, and move forward stronger. It's a small investment of time that protects your future energy, independence, and quality of life. You don't wait for your phone battery to completely die before charging it. You don't wait for your car to break down before servicing it. So why wait for your body to fail before checking it? Prevention is powerful because it works quietly. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't create drama. But over years and decades, it makes the difference between crisis and control. Your future self is depending on the choices you make today. A simple appointment, a few tests, an honest conversation about your habits. These small steps can prevent major suffering later. Health is not guaranteed, but protecting it is a choice. So don't wait for pain to remind you. Don't wait for symptoms to force you. Schedule your checkup. Know your numbers. Understand your risks. And take control while you still can. Because when it comes to your health, early is always better than late.